What up, guys? What's up? One thing we understand the decision that we make in life, and one thing we understand the greater battle that we have in America. And when we stand for God, I have talked to people on Live Me, Big Live. I have grown so many bonds. And just talk to people about being myself in California off of Live Me and all the rest of it in Detroit and Chicago and everybody in Miami. I have talked to people all over. But the worst thing we can have in America lies because other people wanted to come up. Other people wanted to do what they wanted to do. And how can we be something more of those things? And we can all fight. All us fight for a purpose, right? What's the sense for us to live on this earth that we ain't fighting for nothing that's greater? I fight for God. I fight for honesty. I fight for truth. When Tunning was involved, laughing, I fight for those things. And if I can talk to people on other platform and I see Black Lives Matter with Bun B and I see Bun B standing for what he believe in and Fat Joe Kid, what can we fight for? When we all getting treated as an actor. I would like to ask Fat Joe, what if his kid have a job? How would it be? How would he like his kid and his autism kid to be treated? And we gonna tag Fat Joe in this. And me listening to his story, we all got family, guys. We all got family. We all got family. We all got somebody in our family that got a disability. Everybody does. Everybody does. But how would you like your kid to be treated while they working at a business? Why they go to a Social Security? Why they work to a Social Security? And when you're taking your kid to a Social Security, and Fat Joe, I want to ask Fat Joe because his kid got autism. Do his mama take him up there and what do they see the behavior out of them? I want to ask Fat Joe. I just want that ask that from Fat Joe. Like, can I ask that question? Because if I can talk to people, other people in New York, Chicago, California, and other people that tell me they have the same problem, and just me being myself, that would make all. You're not trying to be anybody. You being yourself, and that makes all of the difference. You don't walk around with hate, and that makes all of the difference at the end of the day. But the thing is, I learned about the connection just with other people, and that makes all the difference, right? But if we ain't fighting for nothing, what we fighting for then? I grew up around people that stayed in trailers in New Orleans. They a white girl stayed in a trailer that didn't. White girl didn't have the shoes they wanted. I know those things, but we have to fight for something that is so much better than. And we ain't fighting from what we fight from God. What we fighting for? I believe in God. I believe what God say. It's not your time yet when you got so much great things in ahead of you, but I know we have our differences. I know we have those things, but you have to attack it with listening and trying to get people to understand. And I know it's going to be hard. I need to know about these things, and I need to understand how can we be stronger than anything. God love us. But why should we stop? Why should we be either more? Why should disability, Fat Joe, and I'm gonna tell you, Fat Joe Kid made me want to just fight for this more. When I just read the Black Panthers and what they stood for, and There's other people that's scared to say who they are. They scared to stand. I know people in Atlanta, and I know God's standing with me in this. I don't see other disabilities. Atlanta, I don't see them standing up. I know God, and that's why I'm standing up. I know who God is, and I know his heavens, and I know who he is, and I don't deserve to be treated in the business all Social Security run, neglected, taunted, and abused, and lies because they don't want to change. And what are we fighting for? I told Joe Biden, I told the Justice Department, there's a song that I like by Wayne and Big Sean, This Is Deep. And Wayne said, if getting your parent crosses the line, this hopes somebody remember that. I stuck my neck out there. I reached out to Miss Nancy Pelosi and everybody. I reached out. Trump didn't want to listen. I reached out to everybody. I fought for something that's greater. And I can't let that go when we all stand for God and we all deserve to love each other. You know, I've been around street people. I've been around prostitutes. I never had a problem with them. I never judge people. You know, that's not the way I'm. But the goal that we all fighting for us to be treated as right. Us to be treated. We should not have hatred. We should have love for each other. Those things should not exist in how we fight for each other. But I know I said somewhere, but if I had Joe Biden attention and Obama them attention, I needed the call center attention. Them workers still misbehaving themselves. And I finally got their attention. After getting your and they say, anybody threatening the government? I finally got their attention. We in America should start talking about, let's start censoring American businesses. How long it take for an average American to retire? This a regular American to retire. You know, I talked to people in LA, California, and I had this blueprint, Detroit and New York, and I told them about the blueprint. Also, we're gonna buy land and build property on there, like Terror Squad Island, 300 Island, and everybody have their own island, Blood Island. Everybody have their own island, right? And this is going to be the biggest project. The building is something different, but we are buying property, but we are buying property with nothing on it, and everybody's putting mansions on their property. Young Money Island, say Young Money, UJK Island. Everybody doing those things. Every artist have that. Birdman, when you go to Stunner Island, he just got his house, right? And I stayed in New Orleans when he went to Eastover, right? This is where all of his artists are going to have 500 Degrees Platinum album. 500 Degrees Platinum album was my favorite thing, 500 Degrees. I used to buy it at Newman Smith, and I still buy it. I wanted the Carter 2, the Carter 3 to come out. I used to fake like it was an album. So imagine that the Hot Boys and everybody do a 500 Degrees Platinum Rebirth album, have the Big Times Manufacturing, everybody on there, and Young Money Islands, right? And every Young Money, YNT, Cash Money, Artist Island, Bam Bam, and they join forces with each other. And all of them have mansions on their property, and they stunt. I like the Way of Life because Mannie Fresh was like, after he got out there, everybody was sleeping on. After you have a good time, everybody just. I like the way the concept of the Way of Life means. And they took it out. I like the concept, the way things is. I like the concept of it, right? So it is me. It is me talking to some people and just trying to just get the new feeling, because I don't want to live. Let me tell you something. The best decision I can make is reaching out there to people. But it's hard for people to listen to you because they got so much hatred out there and not enough love. You know what I'm saying? And not enough love out there. So I'm with those situations, how can we understand those matter? So this gonna help everybody. I talk to people like California, New York, Detroit, Chicago on Live Me. I have talked to a lot of people on different platforms on Live Me, and this give people. This will create a lot of money for everybody, man. But I want the Bloods and Crips and everybody to realize something. You don't want nobody coming taking your shit, right? Let's do it right. Let's have something Blood Island. You got Michael Jordan Island, right? Right? Come on. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Doug Miller at Walmart wouldn't have heard me out if it won't be for Trump. If it won't be for Trump, and and he wouldn't have heard me out, man. He'd be still lying on me. And people like hip hop are doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? My goal is so much bigger than that. Social Security was taunting and laughing, and people don't want to take a loss. Racism don't want to take a loss. Governor Attorney Patchen said something about gaining bonds. He talking about he trusted in the people trusted in the power of him. But let me tell you, the people also trusted in you to listen to every American. And I have been in Texas long enough too. And I have participated in things. I did Job Corps. I did at Newman Smith. I got community service. I got a certificate that I got a mama. I helped in the elementary schools. I did theater at Newman Smith. I had a job. I have did so much. I have did so much. But nobody should be laughed at and taunted at a call center. Nobody should be hung. You are there to help. And Fat Joe, by listening to your documentary, I hope you hear me. It made me want to push this fight more. It made, gangs might fight. I'm Born Gotti. Ain't I'm the coolest cat that I ever seen. Born Gotti said, "Am I gonna get their point across?" But God said, "I'm gonna get my point across." And God want to get His point across. He want to get His point across with His nation, with everybody love. With everybody love. I don't know how other people. He want to get His point across with His nation and everybody. I told you, people will manipulate you 15 feet, but you have to know your mindset when people want you to do something wrong. You have to know before you waste your life. Step 15 feet and I observe the mind. This is a gift that God gave me, and I have to understand those things. Everybody say I'm schizoid or whatever that is, whatever it costs. I don't know anymore at the end of the day, right? But can we let the enemy win? Yeah, the devil could try to attack you, make you think you mental, think you got orders. But we have to act, and we have to stay. Let me tell you the one thing God told me: the echo of somebody telling you something a long time ago will always be there. The echo of it. The echo of it of somebody telling you something can always be there in your head. It can echo through you. And you might don't know, you be like the echo of the memory of somebody. So you might think you crazy, but you have to understand the echo of it. That what somebody tell you is always gonna be in your head, and you always gonna think something. And you have to be the one that stays strong in the mind and the spirit. It's just about staying strong. And that's what you have to do. You got to understand everything that come with it. But if we ain't this being ourselves and being Moses, how can we be? Being ourselves is everything. And that can be the most impact thing we have. Yeah, we can have a hard time understanding each other, but that's what makes us humans. But we haven't figured it out yet how to just all get along. We haven't figured it out yet. And God said, one day we are going to figure that out. God said, one day we are all going to, I don't care if it's color, race, or nation, everybody. One day we will find a way to all love each other, to all believe in what we believe in, and all make a better day and a better world for each other. And with that can be the most important thing that we have. That can be the most important thing that we have. But God said, you know one thing, keep your head together, keep your head strong. You're going to have arguments with family, but you have to understand it. You have to understand it. You have to get it, and you have to understand the meaning of those things. What can we fight for that's ambition and heart? It's hard right now. It's really hard, God said. It's really hard. But you have to understand that peace and harmony, and understanding the bigger picture with peace and harmony and understanding those things. How can we break the things that we need to break? How can we understand it? The echo of memory will hunt us. The echo of words will hunt us in many ways, but we have to stay strong. One thing, God is not going to speak to us from the heavens. It's about God has sight in his vision. And it is matter no matter what, you keep things together. And God said we having a hard time because the devil can play tricks. So it's where we coming at, and I hope is where that thing coming at. God say we gave Texas business too many chances. We gave them too many chances. We have gave Walmart too many chances. We have gave them too many chances. Now it's time for us. God say, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, but we gotta work at it together. That's what God's children do. And we gotta work at it in the new direction. We have to work at it. Yes, God says it's gonna be hard, but you gotta work at it and getting around the right people. And right now, being around business, that's not the right around people. Being around places and business, that's that's only gonna stop you. You gotta have the same. You gotta be around the same mindset. And those things have to be the greatest thing that we can do for each other. And those things can't be measured by time and anything. It's about understanding each other. Time is time. Let me tell you, when we jar every moment with each other, you know what that means? We made history of getting to know each other from in and out. Time is time, but speaking to each other is history. Understanding each other is history. Going around telling each other goals and making everybody's dream come true is history. God has sent me to address a lot of things. But God said, would you betray me once again? Would you betray me? Would you betray me? That's the thing is, God said, would you betray me because I see your spirit? Boosting, lying, and faking his love for me. But would you watch your children? God is in the spirit. God said, I tell your loved ones I'm sleeping. And they don't know my spirit has left my heavens. Would you watch God die? God never did say I'd die for you again. He said one day I maybe come back. He haven't promised those things. He haven't promised one day I can come back and walk amongst you. He want to walk amongst you. But can he do that by trust the way you're acting right now? I love everything was going on, but I cannot skits. I have to understand it. And people think skitsing is it's not skitsing. God told me memory of words being said to you. Don't think it's, and human think that's a joke. Human think that's crazy. That's crazy. That's not crazy. The devil is the God is the devil can use those words of those things against you and play with you, and you have to understand the power that other people give the devil when he want to defeat you. And somehow we gotta not to believe whatever that's taught, to believe those things. Words can always impact us. When I was at my doctor's office, not my doctor's office, I don't consider it my doctor's office. She said something, and she said something on the low. Her and the caseworker, but that memory stuck in my head. How can I, when you think about someone, they say something inappropriate and say something mean and stuff? How can you not realize and remember what they said? You're remembering it. But God said, can you forgive from the hatred and And the words that people tell you, you have to forgive it. You have to understand it. You have to understand it. A girl gonna come across the street. And I'm in the subway the other day, and she's gonna say, you skits and give. No, stop that. People are antagonating the mind, antagonating, playing games, saying words, and doing all of these things where we know we have to understand. God gave me this to understand the bigger, the bigger fight that we have in life. One thing I tell people want me to join the gang. How can I know something I don't know about much about it? I just learned about the Crips, and the Crips in the 1980s say, "Oh, the more they mess with us, we're gonna have to mess with them." But if y'all know y'all civil rights, y'all can get on the civil rights app on Google it, and before police stop you, and bam, you know your woman sitting up on the side of the car, and you wherever you at, and you tell her to go to the civil rights app. It talks about this happened in the custody of the police. People think we hide secrets. The secrets that we hide is happiness, and you can't hide happiness. It shows. God give us dreams. Dreams of happiness. We have to understand it. And He tells me, Hubert, even though you're not with somebody, that dream is you can manifest it into something different. You can have somebody totally different, somebody else, the dream that you searches for. So we have to understand those things. The secretness is happiness and understanding a dream that's more important than yourself. Understanding past life and future life also in the heavens. I used to tell this girl I grew up with in CLP. She was my girlfriend for 4 years. If I can't have you then, I'm gonna have you in the afterlife. And we always talked about having kids at 14. She got mad when me and Mirza, when I was by Mirza, she wanted her and her mom to see. Um, but those things have great understanding of it, right? That don't mean the way people behave. That don't mean we're together because we're gonna be together because the spirit changes. The love dies. The love dies. So we have to understand that when the love dies, how can we understand that? But that picture, that image of you having that kid, that can keep you whole. That means the love is whatever it is. God had to give me a great understanding of it. That I had to finally understand it. We had each other in past life, heavens, and presence. We had each other in all of those things. And we have to understand that. We got many 20 flings. But we have to understand those things to get it. You really be surprised how the way things is. You be surprised how things is. But let me tell you something. Right now, lying in society trying to put us in a situation where it caused conflict. And God told me that it will cause conflict. Racism and lies will cause conflict. And God said it doesn't matter how much you're going like Boosie line right now. It will cause conflict. Other people's lies and what they don't want to change will cause conflict. But what can we do if conflict is being started in lies and the Justice Department is starting trouble and rocking the boat? They are rocking the boat. And I had to get them for spiritual warfare. I had to get the Justice Department for playing spiritual warfare. And you giving liars a chance. You willing to liars for your selfish reasons. So how can we understand those things and show what we understand? I say one thing. I want a marriage when two spirit is open. I won't cross that line. You won't cross the trust. And I haven't found those things yet. With two spiritual sides open. Because no matter where I'm at, you are my image. I can't even hardly look at it when a woman put her butt behind in front of me. You know what? I see your image. I see a body. I see image. Your image is stuck in my head. Those things gotta be the most understanding of those things. God said we know nothing right now while we fighting for justice and we fighting for understanding. But we're not playing this game anymore. I had to find out a lot of things, but we ain't gonna talk about why the enemy is waiting.
This mascara.
Now this girl, she do a horoscope. And she said something she wasn't supposed to say. And I had to file a civil rights complaint on her, right? Kierra Smith Terrell. So she just say something what she's saying she's not supposed to be saying. But the politics of it, right? I'm gonna tell you another thing. We all brothers and sisters. We have Indian in us too. So I did a picture on my Facebook and on my TikTok at HUBERT31 and on Likey where I got an Indian. Indian is a part of us too. Because we are brothers and sisters. And we just don't know that yet. We just haven't figured that out yet. You know, those are the things we must understand. We haven't figured that out yet. Even though we speak different languages, that's going to be our biggest goal through the years. And knowing that we all stand for something together and stand for something greater. That's going to be the biggest thing that we're going to have to understand. if we speak Iraq, if we speak Latin, and we speak that we are all loved, that we all put on this earth for a reason. That's going to be the biggest understanding, that we need to understand how to love each other. So that's the most thing that we can do. That's the most things we can do. Guys, we have to keep our life together. No matter what the cost. You fight with the wrong person. You at war with the wrong person, understand it. How you go to war with somebody what you can't understand? But it don't give a government a right to laugh and taunt and neglect and abuse a disability. It don't give them that right. It don't give people the right. We should all get treated as equal. But let me tell you something. If America behaving like that, what do you think other countries gonna behave? If they see you doing it. How it gonna make other leaders change and other people, ISIS change, and they see America doing it? How can we change as a nation? They watch us on terrorists, watches us, and they watch the gang members. How can they know and they see us do it? How can you make change? That can be the greatest thing. And they see us do it. See, we have to be the example for ISIS and everything. You have to be the example. You got to lead by example. Can you lead by example? Is that in you? That's saying we being hypocrites, but we can't understand. They see us do it in America, terrorize and do all of these things. And how can we be better? How can they act the way we not leading by example? How can other leaders, ISIS and the rest of them, change and we act in the same way they act? Now how can we be a hypocrite on those surfaces in America? Most people that don't want a better thing. But most things if you don't want a better life, make sure your family is okay and make sure you can walk out your door in the morning and chill. Everybody know everybody state the shit. But you know what makes us go wrong at in America? Everybody go at it with stake there in competition with each other. The competitive thing is why our enemy is always seeing us at. We compete with each other. And that's why they're going to always see us as a threat. They're going to see that. They're going to notice that. They're going to know that. They're going to see that we competed with each other instead of coming together. So they're going to always know that you're willing to compete with each other instead of coming together. That's going to be your worst enemy. God is giving you a chance to just keep it real with him. Can you do that? Can you keep it real? Can you understand and know what it means? We have a lot to learn. Can we learn those things? Remember, a Sagittarian can never be scared, but he have to fight for what he fight for without causing conflict. Without causing conflict. I talk to people in LA, New York, California. Shout out to Bambi. I want to see her and I gotta give her something. You know, I haven't forgot about her in New York. Shout out to Bambi in New York. I haven't forgot about her. Trust me, we're gonna see each other. If I get a chance to go on stage and meet you and tell you to come up there, you know, I lost her number off of Live Me, you know, and tell her to come out there, to come up there. Her name Bambi. There's a couple of New Yorkers that I talked to in New York. So, I'm telling you, BG just a poem in their hand. He's sitting up there smiling, listening to Boosie Lies and Yellow Breeze. He just a poem. They waiting for you to say racist thing. They waiting for you to bring. They watching and observing. They waiting for you. He just a poem with lie and racism. So you just, guys, you just a poem. You just a poem. He waiting for them to lie more with racism. He waiting for more racism abuse to come. We love each other. Man, look here, man. If I got that, another dude, he from Texas, and one thing I told him, he said Yellow Breeze had been in a thing with him, and I told him, you need to watch out for everybody's spirit. And not that you need to watch out for the spirit. Watch your surroundings. That's the most important thing. What I told him, he talked about Yellow Breeze, but that's the most thing I told him, to watch out for the spirit and watch your surroundings. He's high off of weed, and I told him just watch his surroundings. Don't be too out of place where you can. That's how your enemy catch you. Everything around you gotta be observed. But I told Joe Biden and I told Obama, why not give me a Lil Boosie, his lawyer, he put that on there. Why not? I didn't start talking till I was 10. When I was in New Orleans, I went through a lot of speech therapy and things and everything and stuff. So all through my childhood, I had stuttering problems, speech impediments, and I had to go through a lot of spin. Until I moved to Maryland, that when I really got out of speech class. And Katrina happened, and you know, I went through a lot of things. So I don't know what to say anymore, man. But just bring the paper, man. I'm not hiding that. Bring the paper, man. Tell you, Boosie got the nerve to show the paperwork. Bring the paper. And BG not watching what he says, man. He not watching what he said. You know, that's something he's not watching what he say. That can get him in some trouble for tampering with a disability or social security issue. And that I'm the reason. No, they ain't trying to use me to change the scene. They got nothing to do with them. No, I put stuff into actions. I have reached out to men. Now this was my thing. If it won't be for me doing what I did about Social Security, and calling DJ Envy and Kanye West, none of these things, and calling Rockefeller, go get Jay, go get Jay, none of these things wouldn't have happened. Go get Jay, go get Jay, go get Jay. I talked to some people in New York network after I called DJ Envy, and I talked to some bars in and over there in New York. And people don't probably remember. I got a list of bars and them, and I told them New York Network told me good luck, and I talked to iHeartRadio. So I'm not worried about that stuff, man. I'm not worried about it, man. But don't try to ruin everybody else's connection because I grew up and even in Tennessee I talked about it, some people.